Hey, good morning, social media. So I'm out here doing my normal Saturday morning type errands, and I'm listening to a message by Bishop T.D. Jakes, and he's talking about how his father's mop guided his life. He was the son of a janitor who wound up later establishing a janitorial business, and the lessons that he learned from his father, he's still living out today. And one of those lessons was just this standard of excellence. This caused me to just think about my own life. And so I'm sitting here thinking about my mother and what I saw in her, and then other people. And there's one person in particular that I'll highlight from the military. So my mother raised me in East New York, Brooklyn. East New York, Brooklyn in the 70s and 80s was the murder capital of the United States. I mean, it was rough. It was bad. But hey, that's what we could afford. That's where we were. And for the majority of my youth, my mother was a single mother. And so she was raising me as a single mother, as a factory worker. So I'm the son of an immigrant factory worker from the Dominican Republic, and I was raised in Brooklyn, New York. Bishop Jakes talks about being the son of a janitor, being raised in West Virginia. And so as I thought about that, my mother really, worked tirelessly. And she was a standard of excellence. And one of the things that my mother did for me was really instill in me this desire not to cut corners. She said, listen, out there on the streets, yeah, I know that there are people doing things that are wrong and bad, but I would rather us eat dirt than for you to bring $1 of dirty money into this house. I started working when I was 13. And my mother really drove home the fact that we were not going to do anything illegal. We were not going to bring home any dirty money into my home. And so I had friends that were making, when I was a teenager, I was working as a busboy, then later parking lot attendant, then later a waiter or counter attendant. And I was making, actually, I thought it was good money, sometimes $200, $300, $400 a week. And I knew people that were making $10,000, $20,000 a week selling drugs. And I never did it. And I was around it. I was around people. I mean, I was there when I had friends who were cooking crack in front of me, or I've been in rooms with 20, 30, 40 kilos of cocaine, or I've helped my friends. One time I remember sitting down with one of my buddies and we were eating Chinese food, and I helped them count like $240,000 in 20s. So I was around illegal stuff, but I never did it myself. And I've never even taken a puff of a cigarette. I didn't drink. I never really was a drinker in my life, but I didn't really drink. I've never taken any illegal drugs, and I never touched it. But why? It was because my mother drove home this thing in me that, look, we're not going to do things wrong. We're going to do things right. And so then I joined the Army when I was 17, and I got to my first unit when I was 18. And you, at that point, are very impressionable. And thankfully for me, by the grace of God, my very first company commander, his name was John Morrison. He's still in the Army, actually. He was a captain back then. He's a 2-star now. And John Morrison was someone that the Lord just kind of connected me to. And he took a liking to me. I don't know why. I was 18 and very impressionable. But in him, I guess I saw my mother in him, right? So here we had a man that wouldn't do anything wrong. And he was just driving home the fact that you got to do things right. And I was 18. I was in Germany. There were people that were doing dumb stuff. Even as a young private in the Army, there were people who were doing illegal things. And in John Morrison, or Captain Morrison at the time, I saw an image of something that just kind of kept me on the straight and narrow. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to do it. I saw my mother in him, and I was like, I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do something wrong. I'm just going to keep going down this road. And so why do I share this morning? For a couple of reasons. Number one is I want you to know, as parents or as leaders, that you are making an impression in the lives of others. Like you even if you're not using words, right? Your life is preaching, right? And so if you have a standard of excellence and you represent that before your children or before the people that you lead, they are paying attention, and that impact can be long lasting. I mean, I'm 47 years old now, and I'm still living off of those same lessons. And then the other thing I want to point out is that, now I was just thinking about it because Bishop Jakes said that he's living in a house that his father would have bragged about cleaning, but he did it, the right way, that type of thing. And I was like, wow, you know what? Now I drive cars that the drug dealers would have loved to have. I live in a house that they would have loved to have, but I didn't do it the wrong way. I did it the right way. So do what's right because it's right, and then do it right every time. You don't have to cut corners. You don't have to do things illegal. It may take longer, but yeah, do things right. Do it right. Do it in a way that honors God. Do it in a way that represents him. Walk in divine integrity. Live with a standard of excellence, and you will be blessed by it. And then one day you'll get to the point where you can leave that lasting impact in the life of someone else. They will look to you and they will be changed by your life, and your life will preach whether you use words or not. So I just wanted to share this about living a life of excellence, about having high standards, about doing things right, living with integrity, and honoring God in everything that you do. Have a blessed day. God bless you.